And welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West Waffle Board Breaks. How's everybody doing? Not the Wild Wild West. Just always like to sing that in there. We are very much in the East. How is everybody doing? Waffle Board Breaks welcomes you in for our 36 boxes. We're going to break one tonight. Exciting. We have a good crowd. 13 different people in tonight for the chance at 1 in 36 odds. We still have 18 new boxes. So almost half the boxes are from this last reload. And we have 10 different people with those 18 spots. So if we hit a new box, clearly we have 10 people live. Of course, we have a couple people that are in the other runs. So good luck to everybody. Old stuff is just as fun, but we hit some old stuff. Last two reloads before this most recent one were the last boxes we hit on Sunday. That was the Two Nights Adidas. Calgary Flames, Jacob Markstrom, then went to Ty, and Steve S. hit the Josh Morrissey Fanatics Premium. That was the only Fanatics Premium I had boxed up. Congratulations to both those guys. We'll see what hits tonight. Of course, like I said, it's anytime you hit, like I said, I love all my jerseys in these boxes. I work hard hunting and cutting them from my PC, and sometimes I get lucky, find some stuff. Some of you guys are great to help me out with jerseys as well. But it's a good batch, 36 jerseys, 18 from this most recent reload. So the odds are almost 50-50. We hit one of the most recent reload boxes, but we'll see. Like I said, we've done a good job knocking out some of the old stuff, except of course that one box left from 2024. Like I said, there's 2 from February, 2 from March, and then we have 3 April, 3 May, and then the early June reload still has 7, and this basically this July reload. It's the end of June. We still have 18, so I'm counting as a July reload. That way it's not too confusing because we had 2 in the month of June. It's good. Like I said, it's a pretty good spread across the board. I said 10 people still have spots in the newest 18. We'll see what comes out tonight. Of course, we're doing another one on Thursday. We'll be down to 35 boxes. Same spot prices for that. I know it takes a little longer to fill up the 36, 35, and then next week we'll have 30. Would it be 32 and 31 be next Tuesday and Thursday? But of course, we're in the off season. Even though today the free agency mania started up strong, we got some good names moved on. Obviously, the biggest name is probably the Mitch Marner. Obviously, it was kind of a trade and sign with the Vegas Golden Knights. They're going to put together a pretty awesome line, I guess, with Jack Eichel out there and playing with Marner. It's going to be unbelievable to watch. They're already one of the best teams in the West, and they are definitely, run. I mean, obviously, we found news that not Jose Theodore, their defenseman Shea Theodore was going to miss the regular season. And they're talking about it's significant injury. He may miss more. Who knows? Maybe they're just shutting them down for the regular season, and they'll come back in the playoffs. We've seen that happen. Evander Kane this year. We've seen it. Obviously, Cooch did it the one year, and the whole league was an uproar. I mean, the fan bases and stuff. But, he hit the ice. He had hip surgery that kept him out most of that season, and he hit the ground running in the playoffs and led the league in scoring in the playoffs. Obviously, Evander Kane did it this year. Somebody else did it, I think, the year before. Can't remember who, but it's been pretty much the norm. These GMs have to get creative with their LTIRs. If they have a guy that's going to come back in the playoffs, they do it. Obviously, they have to juggle their cap when they do that. But yeah, it looks like Shea Theodore is going to be out for the full year, and obviously I saw them making a move for a defenseman as well. So it's pretty significant knowing he's going to be out the full year. There were some pretty big moves. Obviously, Carolina with the trade for Keandre Miller from New York, moved one of their better young prospects, Scott Morrow. Couldn't quite find time with that blue line. I think they still have some UFAs. I think Orloff and Burns will probably move on. So we'll see what Carolina does. I mean, they're still one of the top, 5 or 6 teams in the East. They're just kind of reloading. Montreal swung for some fences. They had interesting, obviously, the draft, and then obviously with the trades and the signing trades, and they feel, obviously they have a lot of pressure in Montreal from the fan bases and the media, and they made some noise this year. Their young stable of players is taking the next step. Obviously, they got the rookie of the year on defense. Obviously, they have some really nice forwards. Obviously, Yuri Slafkovsky is in one of my boxes, first overall pick. And they've added some good pieces. Obviously, Suzuki, they have some good players up there. I'm not sure they have the Stanley Cup winning goalie yet, but like I said, they're committing to do it well. Obviously, trading for Noah Dobson was huge. Moving the picks to the Isle, and the Isle didn't move up to select a local kid, but they were able to stay put and grabbed a hitting defenseman that's everybody would love in Long Island. They hit the Eklund, who was one of the top wings in the draft. They kind of slid a little bit because he's not big guy. I think a lot of teams went big this year, especially the Flyers. Obviously, they passed on Higgins to take more tone because he's a big guy, big wing. They let the Bruins select Higgins. He's playing at Boston College, so they get a chance to kind of walk over almost and watch him and scout him. And like I said, he was the top player on the board, this time almost last year. And, the other player, I don't think he so much had a bad season as he had kind of just an average freshman season at Boston College, and other players kind of played amazingly. I mean, other than Matthew Schaefer is looked at as a franchise defenseman, kind of in the Alex Pietrangelo kind of mode. And he's the one that's actually out. Pietrangelo is out for the full year, not Shea Theodore. Shea Theodore is fully healthy there, and they're going to rely on him extra over in Vegas. Alex Pietrangelo is going to be out for this year and maybe longer, or maybe they're stashing him. But they're hoping on the Isle that Schaefer turns out to be that kind of player. Miro Heiskanen, Jacob Slavin, these all situations defensemen that can contribute some offense. That's kind of what they're hoping he's going to be. And then they got Etchison at the 17th spot. He's kind of like a missile at times out there. He likes to hit. He's not a huge guy, but he definitely likes to hit. And he had a huge junior season with goal scoring, which I don't think will translate to the NHL level, but we'll see. Like I said, the draft was fun. It's good to see where some of these players are ending up. Obviously, the rookie development camps have kind of started up. I saw some players in their jerseys. I saw Misa in San Jose with 77. Pretty cool. Lightning McQueen. McQueen that got drafted by Anaheim is actually wearing Lightning McQueen's 95. That's pretty cool. Obviously, got to root for him. Seeing McQueen on the Ducks team. So that's kind of cool. Fun things like that. But like I said, it's good to see the development camps. I know Tampa started this year, even though they don't have any real impact young players fighting for spots. Isaac Howard's a free agent, I think, and they're probably got to trade him or lose him. I don't think he's at the development camp. They've kind of reached a contract stalemate. I don't think he's there. He's still at school, I think, in Michigan State. So they'll probably deal him at some point in time in the next couple of days, I think. Probably the best thing to do for everybody. But I know there's some teams that are looking at him. We'll see what kind of deal that Priswak can get for him. But like I said, it's a fun time. It's no live hockey for us, but it's a fun time watching the rumor mills and watching the ticker and all these signings and trades. And obviously Jonathan Drouin, the junior teammate of Nathan McKinnon, has actually moved on from Colorado, and he signed a couple years, 2-year contract with the Isles. So we'll see if he's able to make an impact. Not having Colorado talent around him and McKinnon. So I'm here in the basement. I got another mouse. So we'll see if I can drive the mouse to the box. Let me see. He's coming this way. He's I got a mouse down here in the basement. They said we have a finished basement, and obviously the storms. It's been terrible storms today, and obviously the mouse is kind of out. I guess he eats the bird feed that the birds are sloppy eaters. They kick it on the floor. So, Johnny Five here to win his first. Ed, we'll see, Johnny. You're like I said, you're here visiting from a Big Al world. Oh yeah, make sure everybody hasn't been over Big Al's recently. He had a huge in the East Coast boxes. It's been pretty mild as far as this batch of boxes. And then last night he hit the amazing Connor McDavid. That was huge. That was a big one. So seeing that come out, obviously I had a couple spots, and of course it was randomed, and of course I didn't hit that. So that was not me. I had 2 chances. Obviously you got 15 spots, so everybody had a 1 in 15 chance. Obviously every spot was in there, so I think it was a pick 1, get 2. And there was 1 extra spot, which CK actually had. So we had, 46 spots, 46 chances to hit that. Ended up going to Larry, who's a semi-regular here, hasn't been around since, haven't had any bees in my boxes. But Larry hit that huge Connor McDavid over at Big Al. So that was nice to see. Like I said, even though I didn't hit it, it was nice to see, somebody that's a semi-regular over here in WAFFLEBOARD Breaks. He's definitely a collector, big Bees fan. So, but I mean, Connor McDavid, you can't shake a stick at hitting that. So, real nice. Congratulations to him. Like I said, it's hello, yeah. Adam's got closer mojo tonight. We'll see if it turns into a hit. Adam's been with us for quite some time. Obviously, he hasn't hit. He's not been regular lately, but obviously, Adam R is always in our thoughts. I sent him reminders. He got in today with some closer mojos, so he took the stuff at the end to close us. We'll see. Like I said, any of those spots get hit, and it counts as closer mojos. So we'll see if Adam R is ready to rock that. I don't know where the crowns came from. I don't know. Like I said, is this a new thing, I guess, on the YouTube live? I don't know. I have to check the other stuff when I'm in the stream, but that's kind of cool seeing you guys with the crowns. So, So Johnny R.G.'s got a spot, and Adam's got 3 for his closure mojo. I don't know where the mouse went, so he's a little cute guy. So I don't know where he is, but my trap is a box trap, not a glue trap. So I'm able to release him into the woods over the fence if I'm able to trap them in there, as I've trapped one before, and then they're on their own. So I mean, the wild critters we got back, we got foxes, we got deer, the deer won't eat them, but the foxes would. The chipmunks won't. I don't think the groundhogs would. The cats probably would. We got rat cats, like feral cats that kind of live in the neighborhood. So maybe that's what it is. It's true. Maybe that's what it is. The people that are most active, maybe it's a notifier for that. Like I said, I've never seen it before. I don't know if it's, I have to check my my stats and stuff as a streamer, because I guess after you're done, you can see all the kinds of stats. I guess I don't know if it tells you exactly who is active. And obviously with you guys chatting, I can see that, but I can see look at the top fans. Look at that. Let me see if I'm trying to check the stream there. No, it just says just you and Adam. Obviously you guys are chatting. So like I said, I would say, like I said, it's nice that they're always kind of evolving, the system, to try to involve people a little better. Obviously, they probably take advice from other streaming services to see how it works. We've done YouTube, YouTube Live, streaming here since day one. So this is kind of our favorite of the platforms. It works the best for me. Obviously, we have maintained the Facebook, which isn't a group, it's just a page, so everybody's able to stop by there. There's no inclusion with that. So top fans only show people who have typed message. Oh yeah, so there we go. So Big Al doesn't have a top fan, even though you typed that in. How's that work? So there's only 1 or 2. Let me see. So only 1 and 2. So for some reason, Al is not a top fan. There you go, doing me dirty. Very nice. So, very nice. Big Al doesn't count as a top fan. I don't know if I can designate him as a top fan. Maybe not. Let me see. I don't know if I can. Let me see. I can remove them. I can report them. I can put them in a timeout. Oh, how about that? I can hide users. I can add them as moderators, I guess. I mean, I don't know. So, we don't stream that long. We don't do, I haven't done it second or third product in quite some time. But, as we get closer to the season, I'll start doing that. I don't want to fill you guys out. There, Johnny Five, don't take my crown out. Yeah, Big Al's here to win it. So you guys know the drill. You got to fight him off. When he was away last week, so you guys had a couple chances at hitting with him not being around. But you missed some of the other guys. Obviously, no Sodic, no Ty tonight. Ty obviously is hit recently. Carl's not here. Stealing crowns. That's how we're gonna have it now. So we're missing a couple of others. Justin's not in. No Nick G. So a couple people aren't here, but 13's a pretty good crowd. So I appreciate everybody for being involved. Thank you for stopping by, grabbing some spots. You guys are fighting over the crowns, which is I guess we're gonna have a Royal Rumble for crowns at this point in time. But Big Al doesn't have one, so at least we know Big Al is crownless. So there we go. So fighting in the chats. Don't make me put you guys in timeout. I can do that. Evidently, I have overriding power. I can time out you guys. I don't know how long that lasts. I don't know if it's dictated by me or if it's just like a 5-minute thing. Who knows? So obviously time is relative and it's made up by us. So, but we'll see. Like I said, just one box tonight. I hope everybody's happy enjoying the free agency ticker. I said we've seen there's not. I mean, obviously Besser stayed with Vancouver. That was kind of a big name that was talked about being moved. There's still big stuff coming. We just don't know where and who. But obviously there's probably still trades in the work. Obviously signing trades. We'll see how that works. Obviously, like I was saying, Isaac Howard's probably getting traded from Tampa at some point in time. Tampa doesn't have a lot of space under the cap to make too many moves. Obviously, they let go Perbix, some another player let go. So it's you got to kind of tinker with your roster every year, and that's what smart GMs do. It's amazing to see what Florida was able to do. Obviously, before today, managed to get. They're could become albatrosses down the road, but that magic that they had in the playoffs. They decided to put pen to paper and inked. Obviously, Bennett, who is the Conn Smythe Trophy winner, very deservedly so, but he's much better as a playoff player, I think, than a regular season. He's still a great, solid number 2 center, which is exactly what you need to win. And, of course, Ekblad, who I feel might be on the downside of his career, but he's a former number 1 overall pick in Florida and now has won 2 cups with them. So those kind of defensemen don't grow on trees. So they decided to give him. And, of course, Marchand was a little bit surprising. Obviously, they fell in love with him down there. Watching him with the T-shirt with the Oilers spelled out as losers on the logo was pretty amazing after they won. But like I said, Marchand, whether you love him or not, you definitely want him on your team. And like I said, I don't know if I guess they have to possibly talk about breaking up that line. He played great with the Finns. I'm not sure if they talked about Lundell being part of the trade package. But if he stays, that Finn line was unbelievable. Sometimes they were the best line in the team, and that's saying something with that stacked roster. So we'll see. Obviously, Bob is not slowing down. It looks like he's, like I said, I don't think he's winning Vezinas because he doesn't have that, consistency in the stats wise. But back-to-back Stanley Cups is, it puts him in the Hall of Fame. So that's a lock for him, and he's still their goalie right now. So they don't quite have a goalie of the future yet. Though they did bring in the Finn from Columbus, so maybe they're kind of grooming him to be the heir apparent. We'll see. I'm not sure. Obviously, they probably know each other, but I'm not sure how close they are. Obviously, any goalie that they're the small community, so it's they all know each other. So I'm sure that they've exchanged pleasantries in the past. So we'll see what goes on with them. But obviously, another Russian goalie they brought in from Columbus to be the backup for Bob. So, and like I said, Bob's not done. He's still, like I said, you win back-to-back cups. It's not like you're on the way out the door. But we'll see. Like I said, they have a lot of players signed long terms, lots of big money contracts. And like I said, we'll see if they can juggle it. and bring in pieces as needed. But, making the Seth Jones deal toward the deadline and Marchand, you can't argue with the results in back-to-back cups. I don't think they're going to be doing much spending other than the retention of the players that they had. But they don't think really need to do much more because nobody seemed to figure out how to beat that team in the playoffs. Obviously Vegas beat them in the finals 3 years ago, and then now they've won back-to-back cups. So nobody in the East and nobody out West. I mean, obviously just Edmonton, but nobody in the East and Edmonton can't figure out Florida. And, I mean, that's why, Carolina, Montreal, the Rangers, the Lightning, the Maple Leafs got to figure out what they're doing. They signed Nyes long-term, which was smart. Obviously, they gave up Marner and let him go. But that might give them some flexibility. So we'll see what they do in Toronto. They're not dead to the world. They had one of the best records in the league. If they didn't, I think they might be in Denver or Washington in the East this year. But we'll see how it goes come regular season. So that's it. Let's get going. Just one box tonight. Thank you, everybody, for stopping in, enjoying your crowns. Alex, still, Big Al does not have any crown. What's up, Al? How come you don't have any crowns? That I can't figure out. So we'll see. Let's get going. Let me get my randoms up here. My dice, my lists. Okay, here we go. Okay, of course, we do 5 or more on our dice roll to come up with our box. Our boxes are here, 60, 30, and 38. 120 and 38, 53 and 57. And then there's 3, 3, 7, and 18, all the way up to 30. Hit a couple from the reload, still 18. So we only hit 2 from the reloads. Good luck. Let's see what we got. Good luck, everybody. Let's see what we got. 5 more. 6 times. So 6 times the list. Good luck, everybody. Let's see what we hit. 1, 36 boxes, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the box right open tonight is going to be box number 62. 62 is not a reload box. 62 is not 60. 62. 60 is our oldest box. 62. 36 boxes. Let's see what we got. 62, 36 boxes. Let me make my notes. 62. Okay. I don't know if it's in this and that run, but just so you guys remember, the Shattenkirk, if it hits, will trigger another box opened completely free. So I don't know if this was Shattenkirk's run, but 62 is, Shattenkirk is a trigger box. So if we do hit Shattenkirk, the winner, whoever has that spot, will win Shattenkirk, and then we will random for an entire new box after that. So let's see how we go. Where's my list? 62. 62. Okay. Okay. 62 is the Shattenkirk run. So here we go. There we go. This could be it, guys. If we hit Shattenkirk, we're random for another one. Yeah, Thomas M has Shattenkirk, so you guys should be rooting for Thomas M or for whoever has spots in this run. Where's my list? Shattenkirk. Okay. Oh, Adam is live too. So this is gonna be fun. Here we go, guys. 62. 62. Let me just get my list ready just in case we're gonna do it. So where's my list? Okay, there it is. Okay, we're just gonna do the same amount we're gonna do. If it's Shattenkirk, like I said, it's going to like only one in a couple chances here. If it's Shattenkirk, we'll do 6 times again. So we did 6 times to hit this box. We'll see. Okay, good luck, everybody, especially Thomas M. Here we go. Here we go, guys. What do we got? What do we got? Is it going to be? Oh, it is not Shattenkirk, but it is Closer Mojo is real. Georgiev, there it is. Georgiev, New York Rangers. Obviously, I'm not sure where he's going to end up, even San Jose at the end of the year. Obviously, there it is. Won a cup in Colorado, moved on to San Jose, Fanatics COA, Alexander Georgiev, New York Rangers, Closer Mojo does exist. Congratulations, Adam R. Boom time. There it is. Look at that. Sig, Silver Sig, Fanatics COA, Alexander Georgiev, New York Rangers, the Broadway Blue Shirts. Obviously, they chose between him and they decided to go with Shesterkin. Obviously, he moved on to Colorado, won the Cup in Colorado, and then he moved on to San Jose. And they traded for their future goalie there in Askarov. And they talk about, I don't know where he's going to be. Is he moving someplace in the East? I can't remember. I have to keep an eye on that. There's been so much names swirling back and forth. I don't remember seeing where Georgiev's going to end up, but there it is. The mojo strikes. I'm telling you, it's the real deal. I told you, Adam. I said you were like, oh, Closer Mojo does exist. So there it is. Congratulations. Closer Mojo pays off. Sorry for everybody that did not hit, but congratulations to Adam. There we go. It's been a while. It's nice to get back into the win column. Congratulations to you. Of course, 35 boxes on Thursday. Right back at it. Shattenkirk is still a trigger box. We hit Shattenkirk. Another box is open completely for free. So there we go. You were close, very close, but it was not the trigger box. But Georgie is gone. Congratulations. Justin's going to be upset. Justin's been buying that spot pretty regularly on each of our breaks. And he was available tonight. I reached out to him, but he didn't jump in on time. Adam closed us out. Congratulations to you. Thank you very much, everybody. Like I said, we're looking forward to it back here on Thursday. Hopefully, I'll get the mouse trap before then, so I can release him into the wild. So either the birds or the fox or something, or the cats can eat him. But I don't like to glue trap him. But he's down here. There's no food down here. It's a fully finished rug basement. There's a hole in the corner, and I'm sure the storms chased him in. But I don't want to squish him. But we'll see. The cats may get him. But they haven't been good at catching mice lately. So we'll see. So thank you much, everybody. I look forward to seeing you guys back here on Thursday. WAFFLEBOARD Breaks is out. Let's see if I can check out if there's any more trades or signings because it's been nonstop today. So thank you much, guys. Take care.